Hello, welcome Internet folks. This is J. Donald Kazmersky, NEPA Politics, and I'm reading from some notes here. This is going to be about last night's February 8th, 2022 Dickson City Council meeting and work session. So it's a little synopsis, but I'll try my best to make it as accurate as possible. So number one, what they did is the borough always needs seasonal help. The DPW staff always needs seasonal help. So they want to advertise for seasonal help as soon as possible. They didn't say how many people they need, 1, 2, or 3 employees. That will be part-time. Usually it's till the end of the fall is when they need them, between late spring and end of fall. Okay, so that was number one. Number two, another discussion was they want to make an ordinance which will be advertised, so watch for it in the legal papers, in the legal section. They want an ordinance regarding the use of all tobacco products, including chew, along with the electronic smoking devices, which means no vaping and no e-cigarettes in the owned parks in Dickson. I guess there have been some complaints about people vaping and the vaping smoke and e-cigarettes in the parks, so they want to regulate that or control that. Okay, so this was passed at the meeting, the regular meeting, to advertise the ordinance, not to pass it, but just to advertise the ordinance, so watch out for that. Okay, the only nicotine that they said is going to be accepted are for nicotine dependence, the patches and stuff like that. Okay, the next one, which is a big discussion, is the feasibility study for regionalization of the police department or the police force in the Mid-Valley. Now, when I was on council and subsequent years after that, we always discussed regionalization. It was in the Scranton Times a few weeks ago, where some of the boroughs want to make one police force for several communities, okay? And there's pros and cons. Stroudsburg and East Stroudsburg and Mount Pocono, they regionalized their police force, and it looks like they're doing well. The only problem is you have to get rid of your police chief and assistant chiefs and make only one police chief, I guess, okay? At least that's what it was in Monroe County. But the problem is you have some smaller boroughs who have a limited budget. They could only afford so many police officers, 1 or 2 from the borough, and they have to go into other boroughs to help out. Now, the larger boroughs who have more money are going to subsequently pay for that, and how do the smaller boroughs pay for that fee as well? Okay, can they or are they able to? So, and then one of the other problems that was brought up is if you do that, do those police officers in other communities know Dickson City Borough that well to get there quickly? And the same thing is, do people who work in the borough of Dickson City know the other boroughs as well to get to a spot quickly and efficiently? Okay, now my personal opinion is we have part-time officers who work in other boroughs, so they kind of know the borough that they're working in or that they're living in, and they kind of know Dickson City because everybody comes to Dickson City to shop, so it's a big shopping area, so they kind of know where everything is, except for some of the residential streets, okay? So that was on that. That'll be, it'll be advertised for a feasibility study, and the results will come pretty soon. And there is a grant for this feasibility study, so it is going to be free and no charge for the borough residents. So let me make that very clear right now. All right, next on the agenda, what council did is they approved an ordinance to be advertised for a stop sign at Mimo Lane and 3rd Street. Okay, Mimo Lane and 3rd Street. Residents were complaining that people were using that as a shortcut to get to West Lackawanna Avenue or get down into the valley. The problem with that was, and I wasn't there at the meeting, but over the last 6 or 7 months, Dundas Street was closed because of the problems they had with the washouts. Okay, so one of the ways to get around that was to go through Mimo Lane and through the neighborhoods to get down into the valley on West Lackawanna Avenue. So that has been alleviated. Dundas Street is all fixed and repaired. So do you still want a stop sign up there? I guess the residents are complaining and they want to do a stop sign there. So they're going to put that as an ordinance or a study for that. Okay. Okay, as said before, in 2021, I think in December, they redid the resolution, the CDBG resolution. It's done every year. This year, it's the ADA compliances for parks. So they're going to upgrade the parks and make them ADA friendly. All right, next on the agenda that they discussed was Troop is having a pickup truck being released from their lease, and the borough wants to outright purchase it for $26,000. It has about 40,000 miles on it. It's in good condition and was inspected here recently. Okay, the reason why they need a pickup truck is for DOT inspections or DOT. There's equipment that could be put in the back of the truck for inspections for trucks and the like for Department of Transportation to see if they're in service. Okay. All right. So that was a big item. I'm not going to go into all the details of it, but it was a big discussion from what I understand. The next big discussion at the work session was vehicle cameras and body cam cameras for the police department. The police department has several vehicles that are in service. Each vehicle needs a camera, and each police officer needs a camera for themselves on their body. It's very expensive. The discussion was, can you get any grants? Can you get any loans? How much does it cost? So Chief Belinsky says he will take a look to see how many cameras will actually be needed and what models and the like. Okay, all those specifics. Right now, Dickson City Borough is the only borough in the Mid-Valley that does not have any cameras in their cars or body cams. So the council was interested in knowing about that and when the possibility is for purchasing of that. Alrighty, so as I'm looking in this little sheet of paper, because once again I wasn't there, but there's a note that said that the council president asked for a motion to purchase the Troop police car, the pickup truck that I just previously discussed, and no one on council made a motion to do so. So that's pretty interesting on that end of the spectrum. Okay, so there are some comments by the general public that need to be addressed. One resident asked if it's legal for shoveling snow across the street and potentially creating a traffic hazard, meaning that there are people who shovel their snow off their driveways or off their sidewalks and put it on the street. As a former councilman, no, it is not legal to put snow on either the county road, the state road, or a private road that the borough owns, because the borough came and swept the street, and you cannot put snow on it when it was salted and swept, okay? And I know that for a fact because one of my neighbors did it several years ago when we had 12 to 17 inches of snow. He took all the snow off his driveway and off his sidewalk on Woodmere Avenue and put it on Woodmere Avenue, okay? And that was after the borough spent a good 18 hours throughout the day and night plowing and salting the streets. So imagine that, okay? And he was in violation. He was told by the police not to do it. He had to clean it up. Okay, so it is illegal. There is an ordinance, in Dickson City that you cannot take your snow from your sidewalk and throw it on the street. You cannot take your snow off your car that's been parked on the street and covered in snow and throw it on the road. You have to remove it. You cannot leave it there. You have to move your car, take that snow, and put it somewhere else, whether on your property or back onto the sidewalk. That's what I understand what the rule is, okay? So you have to be aware of that. And for anyone else who's watching this in other boroughs, you might have to look at the ordinance book and see if they have the same type of ordinance as well. Okay, and this is for all you people who like Dickson City Days. Councilman Horvath said that the project will return this year, August 5 and August 6, 2022. There's going to be a meeting about this at the Dickson City Neighborhood Watch meeting on March 16th, 7 p.m. at the Borough Building. If you are interested in attending, do so and attend. Again, 7 p.m. March 16th at the Borough Building regarding the Dickson City Days. And lastly, what Council discussed at the work session is on February 28th, the food pantry will return to the ambulance building. Councilman, councilperson, councilwoman Mrs. Adamitis will attend, and so will Councilman Jack Horvath will attend. Again, February 28th at the ambulance building to discuss the food pantry being reopened. Okay, so if you have any comments, suggestions, or any corrections that I said, because I wasn't at this meeting, this is secondhand news, please comment below. Hopefully you can subscribe and share this video and tell others about this video, because the more people I have on this, the better off I'm doing this video. I'm going to be able to do these videos. Okay, so thank you very much for watching this. I do appreciate it, and we'll talk to you soon.